Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. We have a lot to speak on tonight for a very long 2-hour Gauntlet match, Hall of Fame inductions, which I'm really going to speak into that, really. And I guess the rest of the show, especially the main event, which I'm probably going to shit on anyways. But we kicked off Monday Night Raw tonight. This is the final Raw before the Elimination Chamber this Sunday. And as we kicked off the show, Roman Reigns came out talking about the whole Elimination Chamber match and that he's in the ring with the best, he says. But all of them cannot beat Brock Lesnar. And he said, this is my time now. You don't believe me? Go back and look at the tape. I had Brock Lesnar beat at WrestleMania. But Seth Rollins came out as Michael Cole pretty much said that, Seth was pretty much was the one that did cash in the Money Bank contract, and he was able to beat both of them in the same night. But as we kicked off this Gauntlet match, which pretty much would be Roman versus Seth, get ready for a very long 2-hour, but this match did keep everyone going and hot throughout the whole time. Roman versus Seth kind of started off slow, because I thought this match would have been a whole hour, but it started off pretty slow at first. Roman, which, him, we all know he's going to face Brock at Mania, but it's just going to go as expected. But it was pretty slow at first, I will say that. It was getting good throughout time, and they were really kind of keeping it well paced and everything. Well, really slow paced. Because this is Monday Night Raw, we're going to see a lot of commercial breaks throughout all these shows. But Roman versus Seth was good for what it was, I will say that. But it was pretty much won by a roll-up with Seth getting over Roman, which was logical and wise, because, if Roman won right here and made it to the end, maybe we all think he wouldn't be winning Elimination Chamber, but he's going to win. It was entertaining, I'll say that, for the match, but come on, I think we just know he's gonna win. But the bulk of the match really got into play once John Cena versus Seth Rollins happened. And yeah, it started out slow at first to dodge the time as Cena kept picking off Rollins, but as the match went on and on, Seth and John Cena were just going in at it. Seth was just dodging all of Cena's moves, from 5-knuckle shuffles to FUs, as Seth was hitting his whole arsenal out there pretty much. From trying to hit the Phoenix Splash to the even the curb stomp, but Cena kept dodging with an STFU. He tried to hit a super FU in the air, but it did not work. Seth tried to go for another Phoenix Splash, but Cena was able to dodge it. He hit an FU. He was about to double up on the FU, but Seth got it out of there and hit the curb stomp for the win, pinning Cena. This was great, and you gotta give it to Seth Rollins here. Seth Rollins. I know you're doing Eliminated next, but Seth Rollins was in this match for literally an hour and 5 minutes, so it was almost like an Iron Man match for him. Seth probably, and in my opinion, this is probably one of the best matches he's done in a minute now, because most of the time we've seen Seth Rollins in tag teams for so long. It's about time they made him feel like a main event player again around here. And this was great. John Cena and Seth Rollins just went at it. For some reason, I see John Cena loses a lot of matches for some reason nowadays on Raw, unless he's going to win the Chamber this Sunday with him losing here. But this was great. Seth going over both Roman and Cena is really big, so you cannot doubt that. So Seth was just surviving. I was really surprised he beat Cena and Cena didn't move on. But when Elias pretty much came out, even though he had taped ribs, he pretty much picked off the rest of Seth Rollins to get rid of him. Even Renee Young was interviewing Cena in the back after his match, pretty much saying, he's got to take anything away from Seth Rollins, but he wants to prove why he belongs and being Mr. Monday Night Raw. But Cena says he's trying to balance things out at once, and he's not giving up. He said he has to win Elimination Chamber this Sunday. So Cena pretty much made it point out that it's not Elimination Chamber right now, but Sunday it will be. But when Elias pretty much had to drift away on Seth, like I said, I'm just surprised he went over an hour, really, in 5 minutes, like 65 minutes, folks. I knew he'd be in there for a while, but I'm just surprised this match has gone on so long. And they put Seth Rollins over big time out here. like I said, made him a main event player. This didn't really gain anything for him for the Elimination Chamber. I don't think this match gained anybody for who was going to, didn't really determine who would go first or last because he's already established that. I still think it's weird that we have to have a 7-man Elimination Chamber, but after Seth got eliminated, Finn Balor came out then to face Elias. They interviewed Seth in the back, and he pretty much said that, yes, I beat 2 of the best, but that doesn't mean anything if I don't win the Elimination Chamber this Sunday. So I liked the little interview aspect right after the match as the match kept going. Balor versus Elias was okay. I'll give it that. Balor won. Coup de grace. Some people still think Elias is kind of limited in the ring, so that's why he took out Seth quick. And this match with Finn didn't really go that far. Miz came out next as pretty much Dallas and Axel there, but Miz came from behind. Pretty good. I'll give it that. They even interviewed Elias in the back then, saying he will be able to pick the bones since he is the last man in the Elimination Chamber. After they interviewed him. He's going to be seeing 6 rounds out there, I guess. Miz was able to beat Finn Balor since, Axel and Dallas got involved. And he was able to dodge the coup de grace and pretty much hit a skull-crushing finale for the win. As Finn pretty much cut interviews saying that the Miz Taraj won't be out there this Sunday to help Miz. Because then pretty much Finn says he's going to win Elimination Chamber. And as Miz was left, people started chanting Strowman, which was the last guy. I'm surprised he was the last guy out here, which pretty much killed Miz out here as Miz tried to run away, but Strowman was able to catch him, and Miz tried to do what he could to take out Strowman, but it was not gonna work. Strowman just kept coming, even hit a freaking drop kick when Miz tried to run at him. That was kind of insane. And Strowman pretty much won with a power slam after Miz. He actually did a skull crushing finale though, but pretty much, Strowman picked up the win here. He picked off the bones. He was fresh, and pretty much they interviewed him, and he says he's gonna win the Elimination Chamber. He's going to dominate. He says, "I'm not done with you." He says, "You hear me, Lesnar or Beastie Boy?" And he said, "At WrestleMania, you gonna get these hands." And then he said he had some unfinished business and pretty much killed all of Miz Taraj and Miz, giving everybody a power slam. Even Miz one more power slam because the crowd wanted, and Strowman was gonna send the crowd happy. So the Gauntlet match itself, I just didn't expect this to be a 2-hour match. And I was entertained through the whole match. You can't really say this match was boring. Did I zone out a little at some parts? Yeah, because even I just kind of looked at the time and I'm like, wow, I've been watching this since the beginning of the show tonight, and we're still watching a 2-hour one match, really. I thought this was going to be really a one-match show or 2-match show, depending on what else, because it's supposed to be a 6-woman tag. We'll get to that later on. But Seth looked like a freaking star out there again tonight, like a main eventer, and he killed it. I don't think he's going to win the Elimination Chamber this Sunday or any of these other guys. Most likely Roman is most likely going to win regardless. But just looking at all of this was really good to see. And just the fact that they dedicated 2 hours to this match is crazy. So this was literally the only match to really look at tonight. If you missed Raw, this is literally the only match to look at. Now, as we move on to the show, WWE Hall of Fame. Oof. As it was announced earlier today, Jeff Jarrett is in the Hall of Fame. And I wondered why in God's name WWE is putting him in. And I could go through a very long history with Jeff Jarrett. Would I say he's had a Hall of Fame career? I'm not really sure. Yes, he's had longevity in this business, and maybe there's probably things I don't know beforehand, because I think somebody told me you have to go back to, I think it was Mid-South or IWS, I believe, something back with Jerry Lawler. And, correct me if I'm wrong, please, and just tell me the right information about that. Listen, the only thing I know of Jeff Jarrett is this. Him in the Attitude Era, WCW, and he made TNA, okay? And even the video package you kind of saw was just him and his title wins, mostly in WCW and WWE, from 7-time Intercontinental Champion and European champion at the same time. They didn't show the tag team with Owen Hart, so that's one thing. And listen, it's not much to say about his WWE career. What other than him losing to China for the Intercontinental Championship, which the story's been out that Jeff Jarrett held up Vince McMahon for $300,000 to drop the title to China so he can go to WCW, and then Vince, when WCW was bought by the WWE or F or whatever, Jeff Jarrett was pretty much fired by Vince McMahon on TV for real, which was a shoot. So he was fired right there because we all know, everyone said that Vince McMahon, he despises Jeff Jarrett. And like I said, you just only saw WCW in WWF clips. You didn't see the tag team with Owen Hart. WCW, what was it? Most of the time, it's just him hitting people over the head with guitars. And I believe the only reason why he was WCW champion mostly was because of Vince Russo. It's like somebody wants to, and maybe it's kind of true. You look at it. Yes, he broke over 900 guitars. He never drew a dime, or someone to put it, for Jeff Jarrett. But through WCW and WWE, we all know Jeff Jarrett. He is the man that created TNA, and I'm not gonna, there's good things he did with TNA, and there's bad also. Yes, was just probably the biggest push of his career. Yes, because he put the belt on himself several times when it was the NWA TNA, and booked himself as the world champion a lot of times. But he did bring a lot of guys in for this promotion, and did it become bigger in time? Yes, it did. Did we get to see people that weren't in TNA like AJ Styles and people like Sting, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, James Storm? Many people he has brought into that company. Yes, he's brought many people into TNA. I can't go against him on that, even though it's the NWA days. But as time went on, and I'm not saying and when he was taking control of TNA, yes, there are problems with Jarrett's booking styles, but it was going good. But then you gotta look at bad parts from him, taking Kurt Angle's wife away and make that to a whole storyline, and then he leaves TNA because they I thought it was contract up or something, and we go and GFW, which GFW is a failure at this point. It really is, and we'll get into that, from the whole global force. It's a wrestling boom, people. Where's the boom? And he created GFW, and it looked like it was gonna go somewhere. All these promotions he's going with, and then he's in the Bullet Club somehow, and then there was just times where he was going these drunken tirades, and I don't know. I mean, it was one thing at WrestleCon one year when him and Karen were just spitting on people. Let's say fuck Kurt Angle's ex-wife. What else? I guess I can go from, he really did damage TNA even more, kind of, once this whole Global Force thing took over. At first, I was really with the idea for Jarrett coming back to TNA, because yes, he's the man that created TNA, and he knows how this works, other than Dixie Carter, because Dixie Carter hurt TNA a lot also. But through the whole Hardy contract thing with the gimmick, and he was literally one of the main reasons why the Hardys did not stick with TNA, and we could have kept seeing this broken universe. It's because of him, really. And that made a lot of people pissed off. And yes, we can add Ed Norholm into there, but the Hardys and Ed Norholm are pretty much made up now. But Jeff Jarrett was one of the reasons why. And yes, I would give him credit. He was able to get partnerships with Pro Wrestling Noah and AAA, and was Conan shit to crash. I was glad to see some people come back, like Low-Ki, even though Low-Ki just comes in and out of the company every other time. Jim Cornette, not really with the Alberto idea and stuff, but yes, Jarrett was able to bring people back, and everything was kind of going good in the Slammiversary, but his booking kept getting retarded, and then the whole America Top Team would get through in TNA. And then, later on, we found out the man's a fucking alcoholic, and TNA fires him. Well, GFW or Ed Norton, because they finally found that Jarrett was just selling them a bag of beans, and they got rid of him. And he was an alcoholic and missing shows and showing up drunk at shows, and you get to the Triple Mania incident, and it's just got really bad. And then he went to rehab, and WWE paid for his rehab. So in my opinion, I think the only reason why they put him in the Hall of Fame, because A, Yes, he created the whole WWE rehab that WWE paid for when he was there. And I don't know. Jeff Jarrett said he still wants to do global for us. Like, dude, come on, man. Listen. I respect his drive, and the man never gives up. I'll give him that. But this GFW thing, it's done. It's over. Okay, it's just no more. I gave it a chance when it was brought into TNA, but it just didn't go good. Even when you got look through the history, 2015, he actually tried to invade TNA with the GFW thing, and it was kind of odd. You lost half your GFW roster at the time. You had to what? To the WWE or TNA allowed the roster. You had freaking Bullet Club out there and stuff, so you lost a lot of them to that. And I don't know when he comes back and conducts his speech. Some people just wonder, oh, what's Kurt Angle going to do? I don't know. They probably gotten past that now. Now I know the Hardys probably still hate Jeff Jarrett, especially Rebby, if you look at all her Twitter rants. So you'll know that. But he was kind of a reason why the Hardys are not in TNA anymore. And the whole contract thing, and, you know, when they let go guys go like Drew Galloway and Mike Bennett and Maria and Jade or Mia Yim, whatever you call them, the Hardys. And the Hardys, like I said, had the hottest gimmick over in wrestling at the time with the whole broken thing. Yeah, the woken thing sucks right now, but the broken thing in Impact was great. It really was. And I know Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, but I don't trust Scott D'Amore all the way, but at least they're trying now over there and getting better. But, you know, Jeff Jarrett, listen, he's done a lot in wrestling. I'll give him that. Is he deserving of the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure. But then it's like people say, why isn't China in the Hall of Fame yet? And, you know, you look at Ivory and Jeff Jarrett, their biggest career highlights would kind of go against China, some put it as. Or people wonder, where's Owen Hart's name? It's a lot of people that should be in the Hall of Fame. But at the end of the day, Vince picks these people who goes into the Hall of Fame. And I just kind of rolled my eyes when I heard Jeff Jarrett was going in here. Like, I really did. It's like they really jumped the shark on this. And I know some people are going to deserve it, but I just don't really think he needed to be in this thing. But then again, I know people are going to say Goldberg didn't need to be in this thing because what? He was, if you look at count all his years in wrestling, you know, he had like 5-6 years in the business. He was just really big because of WCW, and they made him to a star. But I don't know, man. Jeff Jarrett, I am surprised. I am really surprised he's even in this thing. I don't know, are they running out of people? Like, this, just of all the freaking people they wanted to put in the Hall of Fame was Jeff Jarrett. I just surprised. It's not like he's with TNA anymore. I know NWA and TNA, they wished him well too for being in the Hall of Fame also, but I don't know, man. Jarrett just screwed up with the whole GFW TNA thing last time and how horrible that went, and really hurt TNA bad more in the long run. I'm glad that they're trying now to get better, but he really did hurt them. Yes, like I said, he did help bring some other promotions in and stuff and people, but even the show just kind of got bad, and you doing all these freaking clips from all these other companies. I'm kind of glad that stopped now, but you know, just, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't really go with him into the Hall of Fame, but like I said, maybe Vince or Triple H had something and why they wanted to put him in, I don't know. Some people said that they're going to buy GFW or they're going to help support GFW. I don't know, man. This GFW thing, this has been going since, 2014, I believe he's been trying this. And like I said, you had a chance in Impact, but you effed it up. You really effed it up big time. So, I don't know, man. It's just, I just really didn't expect him to be back in this company because he was blackballed from this company. I don't know how his Hall of Fame speech is going to go. I know people were silent during the video package. And it's not a lot to say for that video package or whatever. Or, you know, people kind of booing after, just silent with no reaction. Or some people think Vince Russo will be able to induct him. Bro. Like I say, he's the reason why he was WCW champion. And yeah, Jarrett, he brought even, you know, I remember he brought Vince Russo into TNA. So, you know, I'm just going on my little rant here on this whole Jeff Jarrett Hall of Fame induction because it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense, okay? I'm just really surprised at all this, but what are you going to do? If some people want to think he deserves to go in there, yeah, but I just want people to look. Does he really have a Hall of Fame career though? Like I said, the man has longevity in this. He's had a lot of longevity in this business, and he knows how to keep himself somewhat relevant and keep going. But he has made a lot of stupid decisions, very bad decisions, or just fuck ups in general. So like I said, they only just play WWE and WCW clips. I don't think we'll hear anything from TNA where he does Hall of Fame. It's like when they put Sting in the Hall of Fame. What did the clips we only see from Sting? Everything was from WCW. Either from Surfer Sting to Crow Sting. No TNA Sting, no Joker Sting, just WCW Sting. It's just like with Jarrett right here. WWE and WCW clips. I know somebody had to put on a pattern how TNA did the Hall of Fame, their Hall of Fame. It's kind of odd that year after year they kept taking the people they put in the TNA Hall of Fame. Like, I say first, some people say first it was Sting, then it was Kurt, then it was the Dudleys. Now it is Jeff Jarrett, the man that made TNA. Just I don't know. It's just I don't know, man. It's unbelievable when you hear this whole story. So I really wanted to speak my thoughts on this whole thing. So it's a surprise, but I don't know, man. The guy, like I said, him in the rehab. I didn't want anything bad happen to that bad because he clearly needed the help and he got the help, but I just kind of think they jumped the shark, and I really do believe the reason why he's going to the Hall of Fame because WWE paid for his rehab, so I don't know. So we'll just have to find out and see after this. So I just want to speak my little rant on the whole Jeff Jarrett going in the Hall of Fame thing. Next, Asuka cut a promo how she was going to beat Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber. She will win at WrestleMania, and she will make her tap. Nia Jax comes out, attacks her, Samoa drop, leg drop, simple, effective. Pretty much says Asuka will win this Sunday. They did a video package for Ronda Rousey, which they finally did a video package for her since she's signing a contract this Sunday. And most of it was either from her training or on talk shows, her being in wrestling now, and talk about her MMA career going in the wrestling ring. So, well, time will tell what Rousey does, but I don't know, man. She's probably gonna need a match at Mania for some reason, anyways. Sheamus and Cesaro went against Tyson and Apollo Crews, Titus Worldwide. Not much to say. Titus, they'll get a match this Sunday probably on the pre-show for the tag titles. 9 times out of 10. Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy for some reason is in this lineup, which it was the same kind of thing from the beginning with them going back and forth talking how they're gonna beat each other. Listen, I want this feud to end. We know Bray Wyatt will lose. This whole Woken thing has been really. Yes, he gets to say delete, and the laughing is just whatever at this point because he just did it too much. But the crowd looked like they did not care after this whole video package. They were just silent. It really did. So I don't know what's gonna have this suck. I just want this feud to move on because I already thought it was weird enough when Bray Wyatt beat Matt Hardy clean at the 25th Raw anniversary of Raw. So we need to move on from this Woken thing and getting over. And it's not like they don't have the gimmick and all the rights to it now, and Matt does, or whatever. Like I said before, people say Matt Hardy has creative control. I think he just has input. We haven't seen nothing. I know people want to say it's a slow burn, but this thing ain't getting over. I've said this before, and it's just not. And as the main event for this women's tag match, which literally makes no sense. Okay, first off, didn't Alexa Bliss and Mickie James tag last week to face Absolution? But now this week we have Sasha, Bayley, and Mickie, and now Alexa Bliss teaming with Absolution after she just went against them last week. What? Listen, I didn't really care what was going on in this main event. It just was kind of there. Basic 6-women tag, which is kind of weird now. We see so many of these 6-women tag. That tomorrow night on SmackDown you got the Riot Squad versus Charlotte, Naomi, and Becky. So hey, more women's tag matches, folks. So the match was whatever. It didn't really tell anything that was leading up to the Sunday. Sasha wins, bank statement, and then after that, Absolution started beating up Bayley and Sasha, and then they looked at Alexa Bliss. Mickie James came in for the save, and they did a double DDT on DeVille. As Paige just stood out there, which I don't even understand Paige's role at this point anymore. We know she can't do nothing right now, but I think they made Paige relevant. This main event, I don't think people care for this main event, and all they just said was, "Oh, Bailey and Sasha and friends, and Absolution now. Mickey James and Alexa Bliss are cool." Which, if they could have done it, they could have just made a triple threat tag match with Bliss and James versus Absolution versus Bailey and Sasha. So they could have done all that, but I don't know. And now they're just saying they're all friends, or maybe Sasha turns on Bailey, or what this main event just did wasn't good. Listen, the match you only really want to see from here is the Gauntlet match, since that was literally the show, and it was 2 hours. This main event, I just don't care what was going on. It was just like, I just wanted kind of the show to end after that. I just did not really care what was going on with this 6-woman tag match. It was just kind of there to be there, even though it has to do with the Elimination Chamber match for their match Sunday. It's just all they said, who's friends with who, and like I said at the beginning of this match, I just find it odd that Bliss was tagging with Absolution after she just tagged with Mickey James to face them last week. So what was the point of all of that? And I don't know, man. The women's division is just odd sometimes on Monday Night Raw. I thought it was good when Sasha and Bailey were facing Asuka those 2 weeks and stuff, but then we just kind of fall back into this pattern when we do these random 6-women tag matches or some type of tag match with the women that I don't know how many are at this point. So, and you're gonna see the same thing tomorrow night on SmackDown. So what? You see the next thing tomorrow night on SmackDown also. So yeah, but this is my Monday Night Raw review. Like I said, watch the Gauntlet match. Pretty much the only thing to watch since it was like 2 hours. And that's really it, unless you just want to go from the Jarrett video package, which wasn't that much, or Rousey's, which at least was pretty good and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Monday Night Raw and leading to the Chamber this Sunday. Like I said, Seth Rollins like a freaking megastar out there for surviving over an hour and 5 minutes. Almost like Iron Man match style. So that was great, especially when him and Cena got in there. But like I said, Roman 9 times out of 10 is going to win anyways. But at the Chamber this Sunday. So yeah, this is my Monday Night Raw review. I will see you guys later. Peace out. So yeah, out.